Hello everybody, it's Aurelian here and welcome back to another mathematics video. In this video, we will be looking at how to solve simultaneous equations using the method of elimination. And at the end of this video, you should be able to find four unknowns in pairs of simultaneous equations using the method of elimination. So we have the equation 3x plus 2y is equal to 14 and 5x plus 2y is equal to 10. And we are asked to solve this equation. So the first thing we want to label it. So let's label the top equation 1. Let's label the bottom one equation 2. So now that we have equation 1, equation 2, we see that no variable is by itself. So this substitution method would not be the best method to solve here. So what we do, we use the method of elimination. So we look through and see if the coefficients of any of the variables are the same. So we see here we have 2y and 2y, so the coefficients are the same. And we ask ourselves, if we have 2y and we have 2y, what operation can we do with this 2y and 2y to make it 0? So we see we can subtract 2y from 2y and we will get 0. So this will be no more. So that is exactly what we do. We subtract these two terms to get rid of them. Now, a key thing to note, if we subtract these two terms, we have to do the same for all the other like terms in this question. So let's subtract. So we'll have 3x subtract 5x, and then we put back the plus now, plus 2y subtract 2y, and that will be equal to 14 subtract 10. We're just subtracting the like terms and the like terms only. So we subtract 3x subtract 2x, that will give you negative 2x, and 2y subtract 2y would give us 0. So hence this will be equal to 14 subtract 10 would give us 4. And now to solve for x would simply be equal to 4, the negative 2 is multiplying, so we take it over to a divide, 4 divided by negative 2. Hence x is equal to 4 divided by negative 2 is negative 2. So the value of x is equal to negative 2. And of course we know that is not the final answer. That is just the value for x. Now for this pair of simultaneous equation, we need to solve for both x and y. So what can we do? We can either substitute negative 2 as x into either equation 1 or 2. It really and truly doesn't matter. So let's use equation 1. So we can say we substitute x equal negative 2 in equation 1. So we'll have 3 multiplied by x. Instead of x, we'll have negative 2 plus 2y is equal to 14. And 3 times negative 2 will be negative 6 plus 2y is equal to 14. And we solve here. We'll have 2y is equal to 14. And we take over this minus 6, it become plus 6. So 2y is now equal to 14 plus 6 will give us 20. And y would be equal to, this 2 is multiplying, we take it over to divide. So we'll have 20 divided by 2. And y is equal to 10. So y is equal to 10, x is equal to that. So we can say therefore, x is equal to negative 2 and y is equal to 10. And of course, just like with the previous method, we can check to see if our answer is correct by putting in these values into either equation 1 or 2. So we'll use both. So let's draw a box here to check. So we'll have 3x, instead of 3 times x, we'll have 3 times negative 2, plus 2 times y, which is 2 times 10. That should be equal to 14. So 3 times negative 2 is negative 6, plus 2 times 10 is 20, and that should be equal to 14. So negative 6 plus 20 is equal to 14 is equal to 14. So that checks out, so we know our answer is correct. So let's check out the other one. It's equation 2. So 5x, instead of x, we'll have 5 times negative 2 plus 2 times y, which is 10, is equal to 10. So 5 times negative 2 is equal to negative 10 plus 2 times 10 is 20. That should be equal to 10. So negative 10 plus 20 is equal to 10 is equal to 10. So that checks out as well. So we know our answer of x equal negative 2 and y equal 10 is correct. And we got all of our marks. So let's look at another example. So in this example, we are asked to solve this. So we have 2x plus 3y is equal to 13 and 3x plus 4y is equal to 18. So in this case, we see neither of the coefficients are the same. So what do? We identify which one of the variables we want to eliminate, and then we do this step. So I will identify x, so I want to get rid of the x variable. So what I will do, the aim is to make these two the same. So if I have 2 and I have 3 and I want to make them the same, what I can do, I can multiply the 2 by the 3 and the 3 by the 2. And then I'll have 6 and 6. So I'll do exactly that. I'll multiply the entire equation. We cannot just multiply this term alone, because that will change the equation. We'll end up with a new equation. So for us to make sure that we don't change the equation, we multiply the entire top equation by this 3. And then we multiply the entire bottom equation by this one at the top here, which is 2. So we multiply the entire equations. We'll have 2x times 3 will give us 6x plus 3y times 3 will give us 9y. That is equal to 13 times 3 will give us 39. Then we multiply the bottom. 3x times 2 give us 6x. 4y times 2 will give us 8y. And that is equal to 18 times 2 is 36. And now we have the coefficients being the same. So 6x and 6x, what can we do to make that 0? We subtract. So we subtract the like terms in both equations. So we'll have 6x subtract 6x plus 9y subtract 8y is equal to 39 subtract 36. Hence this will give us 6x subtract 6x will give us 0. So that would go. 9y subtract 8y will give us 1y, which is the same as y. That is equal to 39 subtract 36 is equal to 3. So y is equal to 3. So we know that is the first part of the question, first part of the answer. So now we want to solve for y. So what we do, we take y and we put it in either equation 1 or equation 2. So let's use equation 2 for a change. We say we substitute y equal 3 in equation 2. So we'll have 3x plus 4 times y, but in this case you see y is equal to 3 is equal to 18. So 3x plus 4 times 3 is 12 is equal to 18. So we have 3x is equal to 18. So this 12 is added. When we take it over, we'll subtract 12. And 3x is equal to 6. And therefore, 3x is equal to 6. So we say x is equal to, the 3 is multiplying the x. So we take it over to divide. 6 divided by 3. X is equal to 6 divided by 3 is 2. So we have our value for x, which is 2, and our value for y, which is 3. So we can say, therefore, x is equal to 2, and y is equal to 3. And of course, we can check to make sure our answer is correct. So let me create a box, and we'll check. So we have 2 times x. Instead of x, we will say 2 times 2 plus 3 times y, which is 3. That is equal to 13. So 2 times 2 is 4 plus 3 times 3 is 9. So is equal to 13. So 4 plus 9 is equal to 13 is equal to 13. So that checks out. So we know that part is correct. So let's verify it now with the other equation. So we'll have 3 times x, which is 2, plus 4 times y, which is 3, is equal to 18. And 3 times 2 is 6, plus 4 times 3 is 12. And which is equal to 18. So 6 plus 12 is equal to 18 is equal to 18. So that checks out as well. So we know our 2 answers that we got, they were correct. So let's look at this last question. This last question says, solve. We have 4x is equal to 20 minus 5 and 3x plus 5y is equal to 17. So what do? So first of all, we see that we have 4x is equal to 20 minus y, and we have 3 plus 5y is equal to 17. So they are not in similar format. So what we want to do, we want to make sure that it's in a similar format. So what we can do, we can take over this minus 5y with the 4x so that it will look like this one at the bottom here, and we can work it using the method of elimination. So what we will have 4x, and we take over this minus 5y over the equal sign, will become plus 5y and that will be equal to 20. So now we have, this can be equation 1, or you can bring this down as equation 2. So you have 3x plus 5y is equal to 17 as equation 2. So we already see that these two are the same, so we don't have to multiply anything by anything. So what we will do, we'll just subtract. So we'll subtract the like term. So we have 4x subtract 3x plus 5y subtract 5y is equal to 20 subtract 17. So 4x subtract 3x will give us 1x, which is the same as x, and 5y subtract 5y will give us 0. And this will be equal to 20 subtract 17 will give us 3. So x is equal to 3. So we have our value for x, now we can solve for y. So we can say we'll substitute x equal 3 in, let's use equation 2. Doesn't matter which one you use, right? You can use equation 1 or equation 2. So we'll have 3 open bracket, instead of x we'll say 3 plus 5y is equal to 17. So 3 times 3 is 9 plus 5y is equal to 17. So we solve for here. So 5y will equal to, this is a plus 9, and we take it off will become minus. So 17 minus 9, and 5y is equal to 17 minus 9. 17 minus 9 will give us 8. Hence, the 5 is multiplying the y's, we'll have y is equal to 8 divided by 5. So y is equal to 1.6. So we have y is equal to 1.6 and x is equal to 3. So we can say therefore x is equal to 3, y is equal to 1.6. And of course we know we can check to make sure our answer is correct. So let's do that. Let's draw a box and check. I mean, this checking part this will not be included in the answer, but this is just to make sure that what you got is correct. So we have 4x plus 5y is equal to 20. So let's do that. So we have x is equal to 3. So we'll have 4 times 3 plus 5 times 1.6 is equal to 20. So 4 times 3 is 12 plus 5 times 1.6 will give me 8. And that is equal to 20. So 12 plus 8 is equal to 20 is equal to 20. So that checks out for that part. So let's check for the other one. So we'll have 3x plus 5y is equal to 17. So 3x, instead of x, we'll say 3 plus 5 times y, which is 1.6, is equal to 17. So 3 times 3 is 9 plus. So 5 times 1.6, that will give you 8, is equal to 17. 9 plus 8 is equal to 17, is equal to 17. So we know that checks out. So that is correct. So we know our answer that we got at the bottom here is 100% correct, and we got all of our marks. So of course, I must leave you with some additional practice questions for you to try on your own to make sure that you have a firm understanding of solving simultaneous equations using the method of elimination. So remember a few things. The aim is to make the coefficients of either variable that you choose the same. Now, in order to do that, sometimes you may have to multiply the entire top equation by the coefficient of the bottom one, and the entire bottom equation by the coefficient of the top one that you identified. And then when you do that, they will become the same, and then you either subtract, most times you subtract, or you add, depending on if the signs are different and so on. And then you work out the like terms. So remember, when you're grouping the like terms, you always remember you group with you move with the sign in front. That is why in these examples, we have 3x subtract 5x, then we bring down back the plus. So we'll have 2y subtract is like we subtract the positive 2y. But remember, plus and the minus, I would cancel out and just give you this sign. So that is one thing we need to take note of. So practice these questions, and I can guarantee you that you will be in a good position to answer these questions if you ever see them on your paper. So with that, this has brought me to the end of this video, and I'll see you in the next one.